So you want to start wholesaling real estate or trying to get into real estate, whether that's renting properties, flipping properties, whatever it is, you need to learn how to find deals. And that's the basis of wholesaling real estate. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. You run into people all the time. And even when I started trying to find rental properties, I was finding properties on the MLS, finding properties in ways that would make me buy a property really close to market value. But with the skills of wholesaling, even if you're looking to buy properties cash or buy rentals or even buy a regular house, if you can figure out how to wholesale, it's the foundation to a lot of stuff in real estate. And we're going to be talking about how to get started wholesaling today with my guy, the cleaner himself, the cleaner of the cleanest from the great hills up in the hills of Tennessee, high altitude up there, like, is it like, people talking about when you're at high altitude, was it harder to breathe or something like that? Are you that far up in the hills, Cordero?
I don't even know. I've never had anybody call it the hills of Tennessee before you. So
you ain't never heard. See there, this dude. What you in elementary school? We used to have to sing songs like patriotic songs.
yeah,
There was a song that said "In the hills of Tennessee."
probably. I think I could, but I just don't like. It's
And
just
I'm proud to be an American. Willie son, you remember that song?
I remember that
That
song.
dude said the hills of Tennessee.
But Byron was a history teacher. You used to stand there every day and pledge allegiance. Put your hand
Pledge, man, pledge.
Dude, that's crazy. That is wild. But no, I think I probably wouldn't notice it. The only place I ever lived outside of Tennessee was in New Hampshire, and I know for sure they got hills up there. And
Yeah, sure.
so I don't know. I've only been like maybe on vacation, but I do get one thing. I wonder is I get allergies bad, and I wonder if it would be different if I was elsewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like during allergy season, maybe less, maybe not even get allergies at all if I was elsewhere. I don't know, but I ain't never spent enough time outside of Tennessee.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder. I might need to move to that. Hey, and
you probably have some too. There's some hills around here. We so close to Tennessee, man. Like I remember going from South Georgia to up here, and the allergies, like my allergies went bananas. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
You noticed the difference from where you was at to now.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was allergies. I thought I was just tripping. I'm like, man, what is happening to me?
Man, why the inside of my face itch?
Exactly. I'm like, man, am I dying? I ain't never saw this many people in one space at one time. And now my body is just acting a fool.
Dude, before COVID hit, you thought you was catching something from all the people.
I'm telling you, man. I'm like, shoot. Hey, when COVID came around, I'm in a school building full of kids. I'm like, man, I'm about to pass out, man. Who got COVID? One of the kids messed around to go. It was crazy, man. But anyways, let's holler at some of these people's coming through. Man, if you're coming through, let us know where you're from, where you at. Are you in the Great Hills of Tennessee, or you out there on the West Coast with my guy Cass? Or you in the
Jay, he's in New York. He's up there.
Jaden up there in the Northeast, man, up there, and hanging out in Brooklyn, Bobby Mack said, "What's up, fellas?" I think Bobby Mack may be out west somewhere. Byron, I missed yesterday's Discord. Me anyway, watch it on playback. I think I might have. I think I did record that.
Nah, dude, that yesterday was so fire, man. You only people who was there could get it, Bobby Mackey. So once in a lifetime thing, dog. You missed it.
So Jay said, bro, thought he caught the Rona. Yeah, dude. Hey, I was in that I was in that school building, man. That thing was rough. Bobby Mack in Austin, Texas, man. Austin, Texas blowing up out there, man. Yeah, Austin, Texas blowing blowing up out there, man. But yeah, who is? Oh man, we got somebody in here from Phil Banks. Say he from uh, what's that? What is
Albuquerque.
the New
Albuquerque,
New Mexico? I'm
it's
talking
got
about
some. I heard
the
that it's got some real thugs in Albuquerque, Phil.
Albuquerque got thugs,
It's some real
thugs
gangsters.
and bugs, some real gangsters.
Telling you, man, and Phil might be one of them.
No, you are
Philip Banks
stupid,
ain't nothing to play with. No, I'm just playing, Phil.
dude. That's crazy.
Philip Banks, hold on, wait.
Exactly, exactly. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real.
Real.
So Jay said I live in the suburbs, Newburgh or outskirts called New Windsor or upstate New York. There you go, man. Ain't nothing wrong living in the suburbs. It's Orange County, New York. Only Orange County I heard about was in California. He said he used to live in the Bronx. Man, I drove by the Bronx, man. That thing was crazy, dude. I was like, we drove like through the Bronx. That was crazy. But going to Brooklyn, that was a pretty cool experience. But it was man, it was crazy. But anyways, so Cass out here in Pasadena, baby, out there in the Golden State, right out there in the Golden State, Pasadena.
Now I know
Living in
it's some thugs in Pasadena.
You know it is. Phil said gangsters. Yes, sir, but not me.
I heard about Albuquerque, man. They get down in Albuquerque. The
Albert
brothers in Albuquerque,
Kurt. Man, what's going on out there in New Mexico, dude? New Mexico? My God.
it's right.
Yeah, that's crazy,
It's
man.
right. Mexico. I don't know what the. Hey, nah. But you remember that one place that we found? It was not. It wasn't Cahokia. That's in the north, Illinois. It was this place. It was the Indian
It
Reserve.
was Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma.
But what was the name of the town? Like little town,
I
little
forgot the name of town.
Quapaw.
Yeah,
Quapaw.
something like that, dude. It was so crazy, dude.
Little Quapaw.
Man,
So I know they might, Phil, let us know if you see any Indian reservations anywhere around where you they not like us.
you're not like us. But yeah, man. So appreciate all y'all tapping in, coming through, man. And we just want to go through and talk about, I know some of y'all are getting deals and doing deals and trying to get started and stuff like that. So, feel free to jump in here. But just talking about how to get started wholesaling for beginners and kind of hitting on some tactical things. But some of the stuff we talked about last night, speaking of our mastermind group, man, last night we talked about some stuff, and I was just bringing up like, man, I was trying to get into wholesaling for 8 years. I was trying to get into real estate for 8 years, right? Before I did anything. 8 years before I did anything. I'm talking about, we ain't even talking about, I'm talking about waking up at 5 a.m., listening to podcasts, just walking, journaling, writing out stuff, writing up analysis on properties, analyzing properties, going to see properties, like doing all kind of stuff. Never really took any action,
Mm-hmm.
but just learn, 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 learn. That's all I was doing. It's just learning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask me like, man, how did you just start doing this and da da da? It might be because I spent I'm like a freaking doctor in freaking that real estate out there. But I spent 8 years of learning before I ever did any real estate work. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff I already knew, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, man, but and I felt, I guess, maybe more comfortable because I had heard so many real estate stories, so many real estate investors talk about what they've done, just over and over and over and over and over again. you know um I think that contributed. But we talked about all that learning and all that stuff I did. I still hadn't done a deal.
Yeah.
I was hosting meetups, still hadn't done. I had got so far and I was going so deep. People saying, man, start a meetup in your local town and da. I'm starting a meetup. I show it to the meetup. I ain't doing no deals, but the other people around me doing deals. You know what I'm saying? They talk about what they bought, what they done. They got this property, that property. I'm looking around like, man, I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm doing all this stuff and learning, and I was saying last night, it's like all the learning about real estate stuff is not what got me started, right? We talk about how to start. All the real estate stuff and learning, listening to Cordero on YouTube didn't get me started. Listening to Flip Man on YouTube didn't get me started. Listening to Max Maxwell on YouTube didn't get me started. None
Yeah.
of that got me started, right? What got me started was
Started.
no
Started got you started. I'm just at the end of
yeah,
the day, it's just like you doing was what got you because
doing, but what got me to do,
yeah,
what got me to do was the obstacle is the way, the wealthy gardener, the 10x rule. It's all the stuff. None of those books got anything to do with real estate. None of those books had anything to do with wholesaling real estate. None of those books got anything to do with, the tactical how to do,
yeah,
right? Because the how to do
yeah,
most time it's not your problem. You know what I'm saying? The how to do is not your real problem, you know. Um, and that's what was crazy last night, thinking about like, okay, what I had learned everything, but I still hadn't done nothing. It
yeah.
didn't profit me to learn everything. You know what I'm saying?
Or
What
I'll say this because to your point, I didn't. And I've heard you say that before, but I didn't think looking back on it. Actually, me too. That was the distinguishing quality between me and a lot of other people who start like, especially dudes in my age range, was they heard about it on TikTok and then they was just at the meetup next day trying to do it. Me, I had spent so many years studying real estate when I was off in the cold freaking blizzard of New Hampshire.
in
Uh,
the wilderness, roaming in the wilderness, 40 days and 40 nights.
talking about studying, like when I go back to Tennessee, man, this is what I'm gonna do. This is real estate. This is this, and this is how you flip. I'm reading book after book. It wasn't 8 years, but I spent quite a bit of time actually studying it. So likewise, when I got into it, I think that did give me a leg up because I had a lot more uh, like sense of how things should work because I studied so much. But it didn't. None of that stuff mattered until I started doing. That was like having a gun with no bullets, car, no gas. You need both, but the most important thing, the most important thing is the action. So when you take the action, then all the stuff you learn could actually prove to be valuable or invaluable or whatever. But to Byron's point, it was just like all of that. The how to stuff really was just there, and I was beating a dead horse until I actually started taking action. And it was the mindset thing that really made a big shift for me. Likewise.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not, and don't get mistaken. Like, we ain't saying you should learn how to do this, but at some point, like Cordero said, you're beating a dead horse. You
Yeah.
know it. You know what to do. You know it. At least you know enough of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know enough of it to get going. Like, sometimes, like, and like I said, like, dude, I used to be all anti books. I ain't reading no books, man. Who reading books? You
I
know
don't
what I'm saying?
like that.
Do what?
I don't know. I even before real estate, I used to, and I never read books, but I even told myself, like, man, you need to start reading. I would be on myself about not reading books. I told this one guy, and I'll never forget. I think it was like in a comment section. I was just like, look, I read books like 5 times a day. He was like, 5 times, bro? You doing too much, bro. I'm like, bro, I bet you listen to your favorite song 100 times or
Yeah.
watch your favorite movie 1,000 times. But I say I read a book and you talking about what? So when people are
Dude,
just
hey,
not
hey.
reading, huh?
But that was not that I would be in the comments saying that stuff, but I'm saying a thing like, dude, man, I ain't reading no darn books. Come on, man. Nobody read no books. That
Crazy.
was my thought. That was my thought process before. And obviously when I was trying to get into real estate, I would do anything, to try to get started. And that led me to reading books. But like I was reading books about flipping, excuse me, reading books about flipping, reading books about all the tactical stuff. But
Yeah.
like when I was reading, listening to bigger podcasts, they start doing more podcasts on like, basically mindset stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they start doing more podcasts on it. And you would hear people say, oh, mindset, but you need somebody to like walk you through it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it does. Like when you read these books, they kind of walk you through your feelings, your objections, why you ain't doing it, what, your thoughts that you need to take on to get started.
Yeah.
Because you can listen to somebody rah rah and say this and say that all day long, but you really need something to walk you through your thoughts and something you can hang your hat on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That like me and Cordero and Ty was talking about last night. It's like when I read the one thing, it gave me one thing to hang my hat on, right? Which was, what is one thing you can do, which by doing it would make everything else easier or unnecessary to do.
Yeah.
And that's, when trying to get started, I took it one thing at a time. What is the one thing right now that I need to do that's going to make the rest of this stuff about getting started easier or unnecessary?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, and I just kept chipping away at that. Got that one thing out the way, got the next one thing out the way, got the next one thing out the way, and I wasn't worried about the big picture. How am I going to no, what's the one thing?
Yeah.
Whether that's like somebody's, oh, I don't have enough money. Okay. What's the one thing I need to do to
Get
get
somebody.
closer to obtaining that? Right. I need to go up here. I need to walk right over here to this Papa John's and see if they're hiring.
Yeah.
I need to wake up. I need to wake up. I need to wake up early. That's the first thing I need to do. I need to wake up early because I need to get up early enough so I can go over there to the Papa John's before my day get going and start acting crazy. Or I need to wake up early so I can call somebody. Or I need to wake up early so I can email them. Or I can wake up early so I can, whatever it is. Or you need to, whatever you need to do, break it down. What is the, like, if I wake up at this time or if I set aside this time, then it's going to be easier for me to go up there to that Papa John's and say, hey, are y'all hiring anybody? You know what I'm saying? Before I can walk over there, there's something I need to do before that. You know, so I just start breaking it down what I need to
Yeah.
do, and
Yeah.
then just start doing it. Boom, 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 and one thing leads to another. A lot of people, whatever your excuse is, whatever your thing that you need to overcome, it's like you have to attack that thing, and you need to do it. Don't think. Sometimes when you think about the whole thing, it's so big that it's hard for your brain to take it. You know what I'm saying? At least me. I don't know. Cordero, he
Man,
got
that's
that Tennessee brain over there with all that good education. My brain, if I get too much in it, my brain gonna shut. It's like a computer. It's
nah.
like a computer. You put too much on your computer, what that thing start doing, Cordero? That thing starts spinning and
It's gonna
spinning and
crash. It's not
spinning.
gonna do anything to what you want to do.
It go slow down.
That's not. I don't think that's an individual thing. I think that's a pretty standard here because it might be different levels. Like I might be able to compute more than you, just like certain.
Yeah, he got a better hard drive. His hard drive is amped up.
That's why they say the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
No
And I
doubt.
actually spent most of today, not most of today, but most of my morning reading. I was at the gym earlier and I was reading the one thing, and it talks about one of the key points. It's not just okay, do one thing at a time, but the domino effect that it's
Yeah.
set of figuring out what's the first thing, the one thing I need to do now, and then it layers on. Then once you've accomplished that, then the next one thing, then the next one thing, and the next one thing. But they compound on each other. Just like if you see the how when you topple over dominoes, how actually one domino can knock over a domino 50% larger than itself. So, and then so on and so forth. That's exponential. It's compounding its value, just like saving money over a longer period of time. And so this is
You
so
ever read the book,
important.
The Compound Effect?
No. I've
Yeah,
heard
it's
of
a
it,
good book.
but I haven't.
Yeah,
But I
it's a
haven't.
good.
But like we was also talking about last night, Byron brought up someone like Tony Robbins to the point of talking you through your thoughts. These, once you get in this, it'll talk you through your thoughts and talk you out of them. I think that's the biggest point, is where it's just like getting you to really realize like why you stuck where you at, and have a book or a concept or a mentor or a teacher or a coach or somebody who can meet you where you at, explain to you why you're doing it, and like, hey, here's what you need to do to get out of it. Here's what you need to do to get out of it. What Byron's saying, as opposed to saying, hey, bro, you got to eat that whole elephant. You got to eat the whole thing. It's like, dang, you'll sit there and won't do anything. Honestly, that's how I'm wired. It's just like, I only got so much. If I got to think of everything I got to do, you'll only do so much. And so being able to, the difference between actually knowing what you need to do and actually doing it is getting a little bit more granular, and having somebody who can like get you out of your own head. And it's different. Everybody has different starting places. And we can all have the same starting places, just at different seasons. Like Byron might be in the season of his life where and wholesaling comes to him at a place in his life where he's just like, man, I just can't do everything all at once. Like I just can't. I know what I need to do, but I can't do it. And so therefore you get the whole one thing model. But I might be at a place in my life where I've done some good stuff, but I've just experienced some losses over consecutive losses. So it's not that I don't know what I need to do, or it's not even that I've ever like not experienced what it's like to pull myself mentally. It's just like I got fear in my heart. I probably need to read the 10X rule because I'm in retreat. You see what I'm saying? And the 10X rule is going to talk about how to get out of the retreat, why you're there, what you need to do to get out of there, and how you need to start thinking to get the momentum going again. So I think that's something that also I caught wind to, is just like one book, you need to find the right one, but putting all of these together really is going to help you, and especially putting them together at different points in your career, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So people need the one thing right now. That might be the one thing that you need right this very moment. And then a couple months after you got that figured out, 10X rule, so on and so forth.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that is one of those things where it's like, sometimes, and you don't know which one you need. So you read these different books, and then it's like I said, it's like it's one thing inside of that book that you hear, and it helps you grow that you need to get to that next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's boom, 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 boom. It helps you get that growth, get that next growth, get that next growth, get that next growth. So, I think that's huge. So, I mean, our point here is that, if you are somebody who really already been studying this, and you really been getting to it and studying, even if you've been trying to do deals, trying to do this, trying to do deals, and you're not doing deals, or even if you've been doing a couple of deals, you just want to do more, dude, find some books, you know, that's more about you growing, more about,
Personal development.
personal development, because, I always had that saying, if you remain you just gonna get the results that you've been getting.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just be you and think that you gonna get just different results. Nah, dude, you don't get different results from doing the same thing over and over again and just being you. You get better results by getting better. You get better results by getting better. So that's why I say, man, you really need to focus on you getting better. And the best way to do that, man, is making sure that you stand plugged in with people that, like Cordero said, can speak, can talk you through your thoughts, talk you out of your thoughts, can help you grow to that next level. A lot of it is inside of books. Maybe it's a certain podcast you listen to or whatever. But a lot of times I've read a lot of books and has really helped me out in that area, because most of the time it's not exactly what to do, right? It's not exactly what to do that most of y'all need. Most of you, like Cordero said, you just got to start doing. But what gets you to start doing, might be different, and different people need to get to doing different things,
Yeah.
right? So it's like you just got to get. And some of y'all are doing, but like you read these different books, like you might be doing something, but you might need to be, you need to be doing something else,
Yeah.
but you got an excuse of why you ain't doing it, or you got a fear of doing that, or you're doing the right thing, but you just doing a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
just doing a little bit of it. And,
Yeah.
and like Grant Cardone said, like, it's harder to stay small than to get big. It's harder to be small. It's
Very,
harder to uh uh go light,
yeah.
to not go hard, to not go over the top. It's harder to do a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna get results. You're not gonna get results. You
That's
need
not
to go
worth
way over the top. It's
that's not
just
worth
like,
the energy that you're putting into it.
exactly. It's just like, let's say if Cordero just gonna he gonna ride 15 minutes to go to the gym, but he only gonna stay in the gym for 10 minutes, and he gonna walk on the treadmill at 1.0, with zero incline. Then he gonna get back in his car and drive 15 minutes back home.
Texting
You
on my
know,
phone, I'm applying myself way more to other stuff, texting people, go back, and then I reward myself with some McDonald's or some Taco Bell.
exactly. But the thing is, it's like, is he putting in the time? Yeah, he putting in the time. He said, "Man, I go to the gym every day. I should be pumped up. I go to the gym every day." But dude, some people, you are not going hard enough.
Yeah,
Like, you think you going hard, you think you doing this, doing that, but you ain't.
certainly.
And I thought the same thing. Like, I thought I was going hard. I thought I was doing this and that, but no, dude. It's another level. It's levels to this thing, man. You know.
Yeah, your mind. There are certain your mindset and mastering your mindset is a skill, like just as equally important. That's essentially what entrepreneurship is. It's a skill that needs to be learned, taught, developed, exercised, worked, build upon, just like being a wholesaler or being an investor. Like you can start out as a wholesaler, you can master that and then go to flipping. You can master flipping and go to commercial, and then go to commercial, then go to like super mega, you know what I mean? Like also your ability to do stuff, for example, how to how to move in spite of your fear. Like that is a skill set that you need to learn because everybody reacts different to fear. And if I got fear that I'm going to fail a test, I might study harder for it. Whereas the next guy, he got fear, he gonna fail the test, he gonna psych himself out and not even study. I'm gonna fail anyway. I have fear and anxiety. Anxiety is just a fear of something that hasn't happened yet, and that might not ever happen. Most likely it won't. And so, how do you handle anxiety? How do you what's your general compass or rule of thumb behind getting started? Because there are going to be times where you go so far and things change, like we just experienced. The market shifted. How do you get back started? That's one thing that I really admire about Byron's process is like he created a he stopped. I could almost see it happening. It's like after we kind of went, we experienced things as it was shifting and we were trying, and then at one point he was just like, listen, I need he's only focused on one thing. I need to generate leads, generate closable deals. Now, this isn't just the skill set of generating closable leads, because we could talk about that, but again, that's more pragmatic. The ability to, in a fight, when you're disoriented, you done got hit, you done got busted up, you done got took a couple punches, and the room spinning. How do I get my compass back about myself? And what's the first thing I need to do? Or, for example, mentally, you could be dropped in the wilderness. I used to love watching shows like Bear Grylls, Man versus Wild, stuff like that, where the dude, like, they'll drop him off in the middle of a desert somewhere, and he would like show you throughout the episode how you can survive and what you need to do. And like, I loved how he would always be like, okay, he would get dropped off, and then I'd be like, okay, what's the first thing he's gonna do? The first thing he's gonna do is gotta assess, where am I at? What am I up against? Like the basics. And then he's got to establish some sort of like general area where he's at and where he needs to go. Am I looking to survive or in rescue? Is my goal to survive, or is my goal to get rescued or to go to rescue? Stuff like that. And likewise, when you at a place, you're like, man, the deal's not coming in like they supposed to, or I haven't got my first deal. It's like you stranded out in the wilderness. And much like that, he can't call nobody. There's no conventional setups where you can just go about like reaching out to people and getting what you need. You got to figure this out on your own, right? So like in the wilderness, when you stranded, it's like you got to figure out survival and everything. You can't just go to the house and lay down. You got to build your house before you can lay down. You can't go to the store and buy you some water and something to eat. You got to go find the source of water and hunt for your food, kill it, and then eat it. And likewise in this business, you can't just be like, hey, such and such. I got to figure out where I'm gonna get my leads from, and so on and so forth. So when I'm at a place where I'm stressed or at least concerned about the lead income, what is the first thing you do? And it's just like the skill to quiet out the noise and focus on one thing and attack it, and then actually go. That in itself is a skill, but it's more of a mindset thing than just just a technical know-how, like how to do, like, go here, do this. Nah, it's a thing how you deal with yourself. And it's a muscle. You know what I mean? It's something that you work over time and you get better at over time. And so a lot of that, I guess, to Byron's point, and he always says this, we always say this, is your mindset is probably the most important thing. Like, it's probably the most important thing. Honestly, the know-how, that's like the gas, and the mindset is the car itself, because your mind is the vehicle that you're going to use. So it don't matter. Whatever you put in your mind is going to be the fuel for what you want to do. Like, if I got a brilliant mind, the type of person who can execute on whatever I got available to me, I can use the resources and turn that into something. That's my mind. But if you feed it rap music and Chirac music and drive by kill them, I'm gonna use my brain to go be the best killer, be the best dope boy in the streets, be the best thug, gangster, I'm gonna figure out how to buy the best guns, because that's what I'm feeding my brain, right? And that's what's gonna come out more than most likely. But if I use my mind and you feed me wholesaling real estate, finding deals, so on and so forth. So I would say your mindset is the vehicle. The better you get that, the better car you rocking with. Do you got a old beat up? I don't even know. You got an old beat up Chevy Nova, or you got a Bugatti? Are you working with? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's levels to this thing. The more you develop it, and then you got to put quality gas in it. But most of us, we put the quality gas in it and don't upgrade our car. If you take that same Chevy Nova and put 93 in it instead of 87, it's not going to make the car no better. Yeah. It's a wash, honestly, because you can read all you can. You could even join the biggest and best mastermind as far as wholesaling goes and real estate goes and investing goes. But if you haven't made up your mind that I'm going to figure it out either way, that's a mindset key you need to have. Just the confidence in yourself to figure it out, regardless of what's happening. If you ain't doing that, then you all that information you got and paid for is going to be a wash or a waste of time. So mindset is probably the most important, and you can get a lot of the basic principles of the mindset you need to have to be a successful entrepreneur from books. As you get level, I would imagine like people like Alex Hormozy, Grant Cardone, and the close to being a billionaires they probably got like personal coaches. What I need to know, ain't nobody wrote a book on it yet. It's like I need personal. I don't know, but right now, if you're getting started, just go read some books, man, and add that into your constant routine. That needs to be a part of your regular existence. Like, I'm going to have a book that I'm reading, further your education, but not just on how to do this business. How to actually execute is a skill set.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I do think, it's the mindset that's the biggest thing. Because that's gonna lead you to taking action, doing all the necessary stuff to get these deals done. And then all the tactical stuff that you've learned from us over the time of watching these lives, that's when that stuff kick in as you take action. You know what I'm saying? As you take action, all that other stuff that you've already picked up on kick in. And that's when you're able to go and be able to execute because I already know how to do this
Yeah,
because I've already learned about this stuff. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Speaking of learning, if you text contract to um to the number below, then you can get my free wholesale contract. I'll share it with you if you text the number below. So boom. But man, shoot, I had a closing last week. I mean, I had two closings last week, man. I didn't even post about either one of my closings. I need to post about my closings. But I am gonna post tomorrow about my closing. I had two closings last week. I don't have a closing this week. Um, hopefully I should have two closings next. I should have at least one closing next week. So we'll see, man. And just trying to do more flips, man. If you got, if you're finding deals or
I got
finding
closing this week.
anything in Georgia,
I'm
I'm,
supposed to
I'm
have a closing
I
this week.
need to flip some more properties. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I'm supposed to have a closing this week. By the way,
Oh yeah, in the heels. But yeah, closing this week. Nah, yeah, Cordero, big time close, man. Big time close. The deal I got that's supposed to be closing is a short sale deal. We just waiting for everything to be approved. They said it's supposed to be approved in 3-4 business days.
wait,
And that
wait, wait, wait,
started.
wait. Speaking of that, you actually started the top of this about how to find leads, get leads, and to generate like closable leads. And like I said, since we talked yesterday, I've been reading the one thing, and I've just been telling myself the one thing is getting closable leads, closable leads, closable leads. I've been repeating that. So, I mean, where'd you get the short sale deal from? Or where's let's pick one maybe stream and say, hey man, here's a banger way. I mean, we obviously talked about PPL online, but where's a quality way that people can start generating closable leads?
So, I mean, if I was advising you to start anything, it would be pay per lead. But outside of that, the way I got this deal particular was driving for dollars. It was a driving for dollars lead where you just get around, drive around. And I think the best place driving for dollars is places like Shelbyville, Tullahoma, Bell Buckle. Yeah, man. I think if you're in a more suburban slash rural area, um driving for dollars is better there for some reason. you know there's just not as many people breathing down the neck of every vacant house. You know what I'm saying? So you drive around and you actually find one, then if you're willing to do the research to find that person, I don't know what it is, but in
Deal
these
exchange.
more suburban slash rural areas, there's not as many corderos breathing down the neck of every vacant house.
And I think
So
that's what it is. It's just like because you got to understand that what comes with the motion of a bigger area is the fact that if I'm Jerry Norton, big time Jerry Norton in Nevada or in Puerto Rico, I could easily be like, Nashville would be a nice spot to spend my, $100,000 a month, $50,000 a week budget. Let me
yeah,
drop, off in Nashville. Let me see some surrounding counties that's performing. That's got a, but what that does and what's happened over the past couple of years, I mean, maybe just in general, that's in where it's like a stream. Like if you got a river, like a major river, and you look on a map, like around the river, there's life. There's going to be like people there. And subsequently, the richer the river gets, the thicker the life is going to be around it. And then where there's no river, there's a desert. And so if you got people like on the outskirts, like it's Middle Tennessee, dude, it's enriching Nashville. So the people who used to live in Nashville had to come out and move to Murfreesboro. The people who was living in Murfreesboro, I can't afford it no more. I got to go to Shelbyville.
Shelbyville.
And so with that being said, Shelbyville is fruitful. It's already got the momentum and activity, and there's many other reasons why. But at no point did like Jerry Norton's not going to be able to look Shelbyville up and be like, that's what's happening. It's happening. Like, no, he's going to overlook it. I know investors in my market who overlook it, but if they could, if they knew, I'd be like, man, let's see some Shelbyville deals, man. He's like, I look. Like, dude, you should have been looking. But that's up to me. I'll send him some stuff. But just like you said, it's going to be these people. These are because, again, I mean, in Cahokia, I don't know. In Quapaw, I don't know. But in a place like Shelbyville, it's got value. It's got to have some value there. Like it's got to be popping. But it's a fine space where it's got motion. Retail sales are going on, but there's not a lot of people thinking to wholesale there in that place.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's why, you're in these areas, it's best to drive for dollars because you're gonna see these vacant properties. You're gonna be able to look them up and search for these people and try to find them. And then when you find them, boom, you likely got something. I reached out to these people and they were ready to go. You know what I'm saying? They was all about it. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not about, you having the right skills to be able to say this or know exactly how to do this, exactly how to do that. It's really, just going out there and taking some action, man, and going out there and driving around doing the old school driving for dollars, man. Real simple process. Drive around, look for houses. Grass might be high. Any situation that look like, man, that house is empty. No, can't nobody live there. Man, that house is empty. I don't see nothing moving. I don't see, drive around at night and the lights completely out. It ain't never got no lights on, that kind of deal. Then like this house is empty. Let me figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a solid way. If I was gonna tell somebody, hey, this is how you go get started, I would tell them that if they're in a more rural suburban area. If not, man, I
think driving for dollars still works even in a more metro.
Yeah, I think so, but I think I was just saying that it's more effective. It's that much more effective.
But then to your point, and we've talked about this, at that point, all marketing is that much more effective if you find
maybe. It just depends.
You're right.
It depends on your ability to get, like, say if you was doing a niche list, it depends on your ability to get your hands on that particular list. You see what I'm saying? Because in some of these areas, like if I'm trying to wholesale in Columbia County, Georgia, Columbia County is garbage at public records. It's the country. The garbage at public records, you can't.
I'm talking about like actually reaching out to them though. Like if to the same point you making, I think like if you go to like, for example, like a Shelbyville or like they not gonna even if texting is still working somewhere, they might not respond to text messages the same way. You see what I'm saying?
They might not.
You know what I mean? Or you go to some small place like, middle of nowhere, Kentucky, they might cold calling is cool, but they won't respond to mailers. So it's just like, it's specific. It is very specific.
It is pretty specific. I'm just thinking, what's most effective. Like if I lived in, like you're in the more populated area in Atlanta, or one of the bigger metro counties, it's gonna be harder to just drive for dollars and just find stuff. It just is. Um, it's gonna be harder than driving around in other places where it's like, man, these that go empty. That house is empty. Drive over here. That house is empty. Drive. That house is empty. It's like, dude, you can really rack up on some stuff, man. Some places stuff is sitting around, and you can really rack up on some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. And then, like I said, like you said, it's more specific, but at the same time, there's more things that work in more rural areas. Like you said, rural people are less likely to respond to text. They just are. You
Or
know what
they
I'm saying?
might be more like, it just depends.
They're less likely. Like from my experience over the years of doing both in two different places, at least in Georgia, in the state of Georgia, you know, people in more suburban city-ish areas are more likely to respond to text. They're just more likely, you know. Um, and people in more rural areas, they like they like in person. They like touch. They like I
Yeah.
want to see you. They like they're just like we was talking about earlier. Cordero call leads. If he call lead in the Atlanta area, he can use that 615 number. They might pick that thing right up. Boop, pick it up. Hey, Cordero? Hey, this Cordero open Resi. South Georgia lead pop up. He calling with that 615. Man, them South Georgia people ain't hearing no 615. 615. I don't know nothing about that. They're less likely. They're less likely to pick up. Less likely. You know, I'm pretty sure you can do it. And this is just me from my small observation and just knowing people. You know, but you can do, a little study and just keep tabs of, okay, if they from South Georgia, how many people pick up my 615 number? And if they from the Atlanta area, how many people pick up my 615 number? You know, but it's just the way it is, man. People are different in different places. You know what I'm saying? And more rural areas, they different than people that's in more suburban or city areas. It's just the way it is, man. And you
Yeah.
got to be able to cater to that type of person. It's just like Cordero talking about his tone and the way he talk. If he's talking to somebody that's super country, he's gonna talk a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that mean everybody in the country talk like that? No, but a lot of people in the country do. Right? that's just the way it is. People in Clarksville, Tennessee talk certain way. You know, people that's in Atlanta gonna be talking different. If he's sitting there hitting up Atlanta, he's not gonna be able to talk to them people the same way he talked to the people in Clarksville.
Yeah. Let me give you a tip how you talk to people in Atlanta. Just
You are dumb, man.
in Georgia in general, take the end of the word, take it off.
You are dumb, man.
Whereas you would normally say, hey, I need to go lock the door. Georgia people, lock the door. You go lock the door. You know what I'm saying? You want to play tic tac toe? We're gonna play tic tac toe.
You are dumb.
Simple as that, man. They're gonna take the end of that word off.
Oh man, you crazy, man.
Tell me, I'm especially the closer you get to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Talking about what you talking? Took it the ing all the way.
Talking
Talking
about.
about what you talking about? Took the ing all the way. Out. That's just a southern thing. We might just say we're gonna say that in the South in general, but for sure in Atlanta, for sure in Georgia, but for sure in Atlanta, they taking the end of that word off. Take that word off. Take it off, not take it off. Take it off. Now I'm talking about for real. Just take it off, man. But yeah, I mean, simple, plain and simple. One of the, and I didn't mention this last night, but a great book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of my favorite quotes from that book is it's a little bit. He says, "If I like strawberries and cream, but for some reason, fish don't like strawberries and cream. So when I go fishing, I don't bait the hook with strawberries and cream. I put a worm on it. You bait the hook to suit the fish. Because why would I try to catch them with something that they don't want? Hey, you want it? You want what I like? No, they don't. And so you gotta, it's just a concept. And I got my barber, he and I, we talk a lot about this because he's deep into fishing. He got his own channel and stuff like that. Where he thinks it's like you got to get back to just thinking like the fish, like joining competition, just like simple, man. It's like go where on a hot day where the fish would be at, like basic principles. I wouldn't have thought this, but he was just like, on a hot day they're gonna be somewhere in the shade. And I was like, dang, I guess that make a lot of sense if you really think about it. They're not gonna be in direct sunlight as it's hitting the top of the water. They probably be boiling in that thing. They're gonna turn into a seafood boil by the end of the day if they don't go somewhere where it's shade. So likewise, common sense should tell you that maybe I ain't gonna call it common sense, but the more you get in this business, the more you can start thinking like, man, these people in these rural areas, you can't catch them the same way you could catch somebody in Nashville. At the very least, you should think that I should probably move different. Or you can think, just in general, that it should be different, just natural. Like, where would I find the lead at? If I'm a person who's got probate issue, or I just inherited a property, where would you find me at? Or if I'm a person who's about to get my house foreclosed on, where would you find that person at? So on and so forth. So just start thinking in general, like with thinking like a fish. How do I catch these people, man? And just knowing like you don't want to do the wrong thing because you're working against yourself at that point. And this is more how to instead of mindset. It's just like because I was going to ask you too, Byron, if you look back at those 8 years, and I look back on the time I spent, it's just like, what was it? What was the difference? And again, we talked about it. It was the mindset and actually doing. But I'm like, it was really narrowing it down to one thing, because I think we all kind of, or especially those people who Byron, you already mentioned it. Those people who they trying to do this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And they get so creative. They get into creative avoidance where they're trying to like, I'm trying to make it seem like I'm doing something, but you're not really doing the right thing. And likewise, you could be like, man, I want to sit around and play and think I'm doing something because I'm handwriting letters. I used to be like that. I'm handwriting letters. I never mailed none out though. I never actually went to go look for them. But was that even the right thing to do for the market that I was in? Handwriting letters. That could, even if I mailed all of them out, that would have been a waste of my time. And so you got to start thinking like, what does my market need? And the only way you figure that out is by doing, by getting into it and starting and trying and fail. Bait the hook to suit the fish.
That's right, man. That's definitely right, man. Just understanding your market, understanding the people around you, understanding the particular market that you're going to try to market in. It's huge. And then, like I said, if something's not working, being willing to pivot and go in on whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that works, you know. So, but shoot, man, Jason said, tell my son.
Notice the end of each word is gone, and then you mesh them all together.
I don't know if the T is pronounced Tom Bow something.
But now you took the beginning off that. About. That's supposed to be
Bow something.
Talking about something. Because really, I'd be like, talking about something. What you talking about? Hey, be clear. This my daddy house. I've been running things since I was 15.
15. Now that's the Chicago 15. 15.
That's
Chicago too. Ka.
Yeah, for sure.
15. Like, dude, really, trust me, I talked to a ton of people in Chicago. 15.
My folks from they in like Ohio and stuff like that. They low key, they got their own slang, but they kind of do say stuff like that too. Ka.
Yeah, dude. Ka. Like ka. Like, we don't say that stuff in Atlanta, man.
Yeah,
no, not like that.
In my dad's house. I've been running since I was 15. You know. That's a classic, man.
Oh yeah, classic, man, classic. But shoot, man, been on this thing dang near an hour. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Make sure you like the video, man. Like the video. We up in our production. We giving away a free contract. Bobby Mack, man. I sent it to your email that you sent to me. If you didn't get it, reach back out to me again on the contract deal. Giving out a free contract. Gonna try to set up like a page or something where we can give away some free stuff, like the paperwork stuff, and just put some stuff together where you can understand more of the how to, so that stuff don't hold you back, so. But shoot, man, if there's anything y'all need, comment below what you would like, what you have questions about, what you think, that we can provide you with that would benefit you.
Yeah. And likewise, man, again, always reach out to me. I got a couple people. My guy, I think is Wilden and Jay. Yeah, Wilden and Jay, I still need to get to y'all if y'all end up checking this out. But it's a couple more people, you know what I'm saying? Reach out to me. We're going to set up a system where we can get a time working around my schedule. That way we can talk and see about joining our team. So we can JV deals, or you can be a part of our acquisitions team. If you want to join our acquisitions team, you can work directly with us, learn and earn. So reach out to
learn and earn.
Learn and earn. Sometimes it's about learning, sometimes it's about earning. You could do both. You know what I'm saying? Rocking with us. Because we definitely provide the education. We'll definitely provide you joining our team and everything like that. But it's about making these calls and coming in, doing the work. So if you're ready to do the work, especially if you already have some experience and you're wanting to join our acquisitions team, definitely reach out to me on my IG, Cordero Martin 615. Yes, Cordero Martin 615.
Cordero Martin 615, Mr. 615 at that.
That's correct. I need to check and see if it's already a Mr. 615. If so, we'll have a boxing match or something like that to see who wins. Unless he's big, then I'm gonna have Byron, because y'all know Byron's actually was a strong man in high school. Byron actually never lost a fight in his life.
Weak.
Yeah. So if you want to join our acquisition team, please reach out to me. Just let me know. I'll get to you. I'm not like Byron. It might take me some time, but I will get to you.
I'm not like
for sure. You know what I'm saying? Byron, he'd be like, man, message me again. I'm gonna get to you, man.
Message me again, man. It's like I be doing that. Like I call somebody, I call Cordero, he don't pick up. I'm calling him again. It's like, dude, I treat everybody like a seller these days.
10x, you got a 10x.
Like, man, if I called you
for your opportunity, you got a 10x for your opportunity, man. So reach out, and we'll get to it. But just keep that hunger though. You know what I'm saying? Don't have that hunger when you hit my line, and then when it's time to actually call the sellers, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I gotta go to my my little cousin's brother's sister's dad's soccer game tomorrow. Nah, dude, I need you to come in, and you know what I'm saying? We got to make the calls, because the fish ain't saying, oh wait, I'm gonna wait for him. I'm gonna wait for him to put his hook in after the soccer game. So, people need us. So let's get to it, man. But please reach out, and we can make some magic happen, man. But who is that? Michelle or Michael?
What you talking about?
Oh, but on one of the comments.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah. What? This is a great question.
My buy box, and I have a buy box actually. If you go look up Open Resi on Facebook. Open Resi on Facebook. You'll see that there's a buy box there, but I buy 3 bedrooms, at least 1 bathroom, no older than like 1960. Excuse me.
Wait. 1960?
1960.
That's your personal what you would rock with, or you just
yeah, personal.
You done took it back some.
I mean, I like it to be newer. I like it to be 1990, but I don't like to go beyond 1960. I'm buying one that's like 1970 something. A lot of those be like brick. You might get one that's 1960 something, but it's brick ranch. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it's standard. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I
ain't gonna be a lot going on there.
yeah. Better. It has a better quality build than most newer houses. It's still older, but
Yeah, it's like brick on a slab. It's like
but
the
that's how you know. That's how y'all know Byron really coming up, man. I'm telling you, man. He be doing like foundation issues. He be like, man, if it need plumbing out,
man,
plumbing. I'm like, dang, bro, really going in on the flips, man. He be like,
dude.
yeah, about to put a new pool in the, you know what I'm saying?
Man, whatever,
Marble floors,
dude.
gold toilet. Marble
Man,
floor. Hey, put that in your IG bio. Marble floors, gold toilet in my. Hey,
hey,
I think Byron lived next to Lil Baby too. That's another thing that
nah,
Byron.
ain't no little baby over here. But I did miss little baby. We was talking about that. Miss little baby when he was at this little event that I was at, and I ain't know little baby was there. I'm like, God dang, man, missed out on little baby. What states? Georgia,
Yeah,
Georgia.
Georgia,
Um,
and Tennessee, and pretty much I would say everything he said besides 1970 and above. I mean 1970 and above for Tennessee, but everything else is the same. If you and that's pretty much the strike zone right there.
yeah,
Middle Tennessee and Georgia, and would you say? Well, I guess all of Georgia at this point. All of Georgia at
yeah,
this
I
point.
would say all over Georgia at this point. If anything come up that I won't buy, now I'll let you know. But shoot, man, appreciate y'all coming through. We've been in this thing for an hour. Tomorrow we're gonna come back again and do this again. Y'all make sure y'all keep tapping in, man. Go back and watch the live if you haven't watched the whole thing. Comment below. Even if you watch this thing, all y'all comments, all your likes, they all count. We we trying to stay consistent. We trying to push this thing, up, and trying to grow not only this, but grow in our real estate game. Like we got big plans, man, to go beyond even what we're doing now. I was wholesaling, now I'm flipping, I'm trying to get into buying commercial units and stuff like that. So, we trying to go up, man. We trying to take it all up. So shoot, man. If you're up in this mug, Jaden, Michelle, Bobby Mack,
Hit us.
Phil, Antonio, Cass, all y'all like the video, man. Um, so we can keep this thing on the up and up. So what's your Facebook again? On Facebook, look up Open Resi. Open Resi on Facebook. Go check it out. That's our business page, and it has like the buy box on there and everything like that. So should be good to go. But shoot, man, we finna roll up out of this thing, man. We'll be back tomorrow though to answer more questions. Like I said, if you got other questions, drop them in the comments below. If you like the video, like it, comment on it also. And man, let's keep this thing going, man. Until tomorrow, man. Peace out.
Peace out.